Hi, I'm Craig Sigel, the mental toughness trainer. In this clip, Coach Mendo, who runs Quick Handle basketball training, shares what he believes makes a great coach.
And my acronym for coaching is my 3 P's. The first one is personality. Okay. You got to have a personality. Something that attracts people to you, that people know, that you have the kind of body language that people can say, you're believable. Because once you're not believable, you're done. So there has to be some charisma in your personality. You got to be outgoing. You got to be interactive. For me, I'm a very touchy person. I believe physical contact is so important in building relationships and communication. That's just me. And one of my acronyms is INSECT. And what that stands for is when you meet anybody, you should have intelligence. Intelligence, so that you come across as being somebody who has some knowledge. And you got to be nice. Nice to people all the time. S, you have to smile. Smile at people. Engage with people. E, you always got to edify. Edify and build up. C is care. You have to care. Really show that you care for somebody. So it's one thing to be nice, but really care. How can I help you? And then what was the last one?
T.
T is you have to touch. Touch. So all of those elements in INSECT you got to do. I try to do it anytime I'm engaging with somebody. Yeah. But back to my piece. So the first one is you got to have personality. Second one is you got to have philosophy. A philosophy. A philosophy that, again, people believe in. And on the basketball court, you know, you're going to be believable when you can present stuff to people who's like, what is this? You got to have a strategy. And basically for me, it's you got to create an element of surprise for your opponent that they're not ready for, and you have to be ready for anything that anybody can throw at you. So that's how I teach my players. I teach my players that whatever zone you see, whatever thing you're ready for because you've been prepared. That's just how I do it. And then secondly, we're never going to be the same. You're going to see something different. You better be ready. Just when you think, oh, we're a small, slow team, we're going to trap you all over the floor. So we're going to do unorthodox things. So you have to have a really good philosophy, and that really takes time, learning and being mentored. And then the last P is you got to have passion. You got to show that you really have passion, that you're really engaged and you really care about the process, and that you're willing to put in the time to work, right? You know, I try to tell people all the time that I want to say that nobody worked harder than I did as a player, and that now as a coach, nobody is going to outwork me as a coach. And then as an athlete still, even at my age, there's nobody that can outwork me.
35?
Yeah, I wish. But that's why I train so hard right now, is because I have a bar that's set, and I want to be that example in the best way that I can, that I hope will translate. Not for any ego fulfillment, but it's always about the kids, and it's always about empowering.
So did you like that? We've got a lot more mental game tips and strategies for youth athletes. Get on our training series list by entering your email in the sign-up box at teenmentaltoughness.com. And just to get you started, you'll get my guided visualization, Master the Pressure, and an ebook, How to Be a Great Sports Parent. Go to teenmentaltoughness.com now.
Canada is a beautiful country. Love, hope, and acceptance have made it a stronger nation. Democracy is at the heart of this as well. The right to vote is a small voice for citizens, but a major change in our freedom and power. Sadly, the youth vote went down from 43.8% in 2006 to 38.8% in 2011 for the age group of 18 to 25. Looking at these numbers, my age group desperately needs motivation to actively participate during votes. Doing so is vital to keep democracy alive. I want to promote voting to my colleagues, as I strongly believe in democracy and freedom. I want to know how crucial voting is for this generation, and so I ask, how important is voting for you?
I think that everyone's entitled to their own opinion and everyone has the right to vote.
Voting is fairly important for me.
I think voting is extremely important and everybody should get the chance to vote.
Honestly, I don't have any particular point of views on it.
I think voting is very important. It's very important to have a voice.
Voting is very important because everyone deserves to be heard.
I think voting is extremely important.
Voting is a right, and as a right, everyone should have the power to exert.
Without votes, we don't have a democracy, and without a democracy, we don't have a stable society.
It may be good, it may be bad.
In the 2011 federal election, 38.8% of youth, so that's 18 to 24, voted, which is a terribly low percentage. You know, and so many ridings were close calls and so on, and so the youth vote does have influence because if more youth voted, their voice would be stronger. That's their main reason to vote. Secondly, like we talked about, it's a vicious circle that's going on right now. Election campaigns don't talk to youth issues, don't engage with youth because they look at the polls and they see that not a lot of youth come to vote. So youth issues take a back seat, take the back burner, and so it's this sort of downward spiral that we've been seeing. I mean, if you look at the historic numbers in Canada in the 1960s and 70s, the same age bracket, that 18 to 24, were voting at a 60-70% rate. So it's a huge difference. So we've done how to vote guides, we've done infographics, we've done street teams, which is peer-to-peer outreach, we've done articles, we've done a number of different approaches. What's proven to work well is the youth talking to youth. That is the best way to engage young people, is to have their peers talk to them in an informal way. They get a brochure or just like a one-page infographic that you can easily go through, find the information that you need. We've always had a website, but we've been using it to a greater potential in the last few years. So check it out, it's apathyisboring.com. There's election resources, I mean, from your basic questions as to the Canadian electoral process. What does it mean? What responsibilities does your provincial government have? And very easy to see. We've proven to be a good way to engage youth and educate the Canadian population in general.
I think youth can really make a difference by voting. And sadly, politicians know who is voting and who is not. When they know that youth are not voting, well, they are not putting forward policies that will care about youth issues. And if they would see that youth will start to vote more, they will take in consideration their needs way more. And it will affect their day-to-day life too, because world politics seems like very far to your car, your apartment, your studies, and the work you'll be doing in a few years. But in fact, why are you paying more and more to register to go to university or college? It's because your politicians are deciding so. So just taking time to get a bit informed about the offers on the table and go to a vote will make a big difference, because I think we will then have some politicians who will reflect the youth values way more.
I want to be a part of a diverse, progressive, and active society. I don't want to see people's voices be silenced. And you know what? It doesn't have to be this way. In this year's election, I invite my generation to cast their vote to express their wishes. Politics is broken, but a fix starts with your vote.